I created a video titled The Sociopath in My Pick a Card Readings. In that video, I explained how different pick a card readings, taken at various times, even years apart, came together like puzzle pieces. And when aligned, they all resonate with the same truth. And as I have often said, this has been about destiny theft. Screenshot attached. I think I forgot to include this one in that video I produced before. In this pickup pile that I had April 15, it was a water sign who wants to be me, that is trying to ruin my projects. And in this reading, it mentioned that this person comes across as an empath. But it's not empathy, it is manipulation. And that this person is a kind of person that takes everything I say personally, then will cry, but it's manipulation. In this reading, she repeated so many times that this person is a copycat and that she wants to come off as a savior for the underdog, but it's emotional manipulation. They pray when you're at your weakest, where they will act as a savior. And what is cringy in this reading is that she also mentioned about some stolen money. So I kept notes, but this one, I couldn't locate exactly where I got the message from and when I received it. But still, it resonates with everything else I've uncovered. And that the message was, someone has been watching me, waiting to see if I would be destroyed. Because this person attacked me spiritually. And that the energy points to a Queen of Cups who acted in secret, stole something, and now watches to see if her actions is taking effect. It was also mentioned in that reading that this person is childish, who constantly trying to one-up me and is taking wins just by snaking me. And according to the notes, this Queen of Cups gave something to a Sagittarius or a Scorpio to cause an ending or disrupt my foundation. And that people were paid, but those people are now suffering. And this reading confirmed that I cut this person off, yet this person pretends to play dumb. And let's not forget, repeated so many times in all readings that this person wanted my spot. So the word snake is central here. While some comments and screenshots I have attached points towards the Queen of Wands as the snake or villain, this is a deliberate confusion tactic. So pay attention because all the readings in this video are connected in order to see the bigger picture. As I have said many times before, this flying monkey tarot readers mixes truth with lies. So they play both sides, acting as attackers while also posing as whistleblowers. One tarot reader, screenshot attached, gave key information about this targeting, though carefully veiled, since they operate in the shadows. While in contrast, the general readings that are pumped out systematically portraying the Queen of Wands as the karmic, the villain, and the snake, yet whistleblowers have pointed instead to a Queen of Cups as the real karmic and the true snake. And one even said outright that your Scorpio friend is a snake, and they have been plotting on your opportunities and relationships. And then someone commented under that reading, saying that, well, the real concern is, will they give up the snake? To why I think it is me when it's not directed at me, Well, this specific tarot reader gave me some heavy insights about hell, the occult, and some things that are relevant in my situation. So I kind of understand that this person knows some things. Another tarot reader created another tarot reading saying that they were all protecting this person, which makes sense if she was working within that group. Paying these tarot readers, well, naturally, they would cover for one another. And that is the main reason why the Queen of Cups is always their victim in their narratives. Across all the targeting messages, a clear pattern emerges that the Queen of Wands has been portrayed as the one blocking this person, overshadowing what was really being done to me in real life by possibly a water sign, ironically. So another prophet created a content about a snake, a fake divine feminine, which is a water sign, who had been chasing the same dream as another person since childhood. That message was especially dark and disturbing, but aligned with everything else. So she posted that this person is a fake bestie, a destiny. Posted something about a destiny swap flop, a fake ass, an adjustable spirit, and even mentioned about children. About 4 years ago, I had a pick a card reading from Queen Tari Tarot titled, Why Is or Was Everyone Against You For? The other day, I decided to listen to it again. And to my surprise, in that reading, she specifically mentioned me finding out about a snake. And I hadn't written that detail down before, so it felt like hearing it again for the first time. And the synchronicity struck me because just the other day, while walking, my son almost stepped on a literal snake. And thinking about this, I was thinking maybe it is really about time to talk about the snake. The core message of that reading was this. The people were against me because of a destiny they didn't want me to have. And strangely enough, in that same reading, the snake card fell directly on the card representing the answer. Screenshot attached. It confirmed that the people or the person opposing me wanted me to retaliate. And that the deeper truth it pointed to was that I was really dealing with some narcissists. So the other day I called out a prophet whose content carries a motto that everyone in the community is turning on her. And in her messages, she portrayed her villain as a liar who had betrayed a friend. So she even claimed this villain had gone on vacation to Bali, which supposedly caused people to stop donating. Of course, a story riddled with lies. So she said that this villain was lying about a friend. And how she was lying, according to this manipulator, was in that video that I already posted, which I never did, of course, to a friend. So considering the twisting of facts, psychological warfare, I have experienced in this community, I have mentioned in that content that I know that I'm dealing with a Jezebel. On September 13th, the night of their attack, I called out some tarot readers who's manipulating. It was readings about a Queen of Wands who was accused of doing terrible things to a friend. And in many readings, the narrative was the same. So the Queen of Wands being casted as the one who wronged this Queen of Cups. Anyone can see the pattern in these targeting messages that they claim it as a friend or a best friend dynamic. But almost always, the Queen of Wands was accused of mistreating the Queen of Cups. And that night, it was a number of tarot readers who has the same message that I can see this clearly as organized crime and systematic assassination. As we all know, there was a screenshot shared where someone whistleblew that certain tarot readers were being paid to push specific messages. And this explains the pattern that these are a swarm of flying monkeys working by proxy, systematically abusing me through manipulation and false narratives. I have already shared before in a video how some general readings deliberately switch the roles. For example, in the attached screenshot of a Scorpio reading, the message said, "They tried to kill you, but pressure makes diamonds." Well, when in reality, that was what was being done to me. But it was in a Scorpio reading. Another example came from a Leo general reading that claimed God is mad at you for trying to sacrifice a water sign. When in reality, that was being done to me by this coven cyberbullying me. So again, I recognize the switch of roles that this whole satanic group were doing. And the most recent instance I came across was from Heavenly Hidden Tarot in a Scorpio general reading. It described their world is falling apart while they still played the victim, accusing you of being the one doing it. But we all know the truth that this title actually fits what I'm experiencing right now. Yet, it's in a Scorpio reading. Someone in my life is playing the victim. Meanwhile, I was falsely accused of countless horrible things. Covertly. With facts manipulated and truths twisted to fit their narrative. Then, another tarot reading. This goes back about 4 to 5 years ago. And I paid special attention to it because it revealed something that could be one of their truths about a Scorpio. So the reading describes someone using Aleister Crowley's teachings to perform spells. And this person is a self-proclaimed demonologist. And I don't remember the reading in full anymore, but I kept notes seen in the screenshot that included that the Scorpio were paying for magic, being warned to stop manipulating, putting a slave spell on someone, performing heavy ritual work. It was also mentioned that this person was performing many manifestations to create a false image of themselves. And that this person was calling on demons, doing isolation spells on someone, and binding work. And wants to be the person that she is attacking. So don't we all keep hearing about karmics paying for spell work or acting as copycats, but always points it out to a Queen of Wands? Well, not in this particular reading. They specifically said it was a Scorpio. Looking back, it all makes sense because everything has been flipped and roles were deliberately reversed. Now, I want to share another screenshot they posted about a karmic. which connects directly to what the reader said about a Scorpio, trying to be someone else through spell work and manipulation. Now, in this post, the message was clear that there was a karmic man or woman with an Asian spell book that is using old spells to steal your life and everything about you. They want to block your destiny and alter your fate. Now, another reading about Who's Doing Magic on You by Chinig 5 years ago. It mentioned about a Scorpio. Not only that, but also tarot readers. Aren't we suggesting that the coven is a group of tarot readers? So it made sense. But this reading is about these people being envious of my journey to the point that they were even copying my journey. A copycat. Speaking of tarot readers, I have made a video before about a pick a card reading about a vampiric cult that includes tarot readers that are intentionally creating chaos to harvest energy. So imagine the tarot reading reader coven and their water sign victim. It's just making sense. So this is all connected. Pay close attention. One tarot reader once said that the coven stole all your money, then hired a hitman to take you out and keep you quiet. So in one of the Queen of Cups readings I mentioned earlier, it was revealed that this person paid either a Sagittarius or a Scorpio hitman. Then, in the Scorpio reading, the same one where the person was told to stop manipulating, it was also said that they were paying for magic. Now here's another layer. In a Leo general reading from one of the readers that I believe was whistleblowing about the situation, the message came through that it was in a Leo reading saying that you were hit by a heavy hitter. No one would want to be around you. So what's my point? When you connect all of these pieces, the picture becomes clearer. That the narrative about the coven stealing money, paying for a hit, lines up with the earlier revelations and pointing to a water sign, someone who was part of the coven who not only paid for a hit but also stole something. Now, I had a reading asking about archangel messages and chose Pile Tree. And in this message, it says that there's a water sign monitoring me, obsessed with me, confirming that this person stole, copied, and obsessed with the idea that I have changed and how I'm about to change. This resonates with the person watching me if I'm already destroyed that I have mentioned earlier. Then another reading of what's hidden. This reading coming from the same reader, tarot reader. It says and mentioned about a water sign, but other signs were also mentioned. That I was picking up psychic attacks. And this reader said that I have a hidden enemy that I am helping, wherein this person is coveting what I do. So if you think about it, all these readings, messages, whether it was a pick a card, general reading, or just plain posts of a whistleblowing tarot reader, it's all resonating. Now on April 11, I had a pick a card reading with a question, who is crying over you? And in my notes from that reading, the message pointed to a Scorpio who's someone greedy, jealous, and envious. It described that this person is a wannabe who, despite having more than me materially, is still full of hate and resentment. And that the reading confirmed that I'm exposing this person and that I had already cut them out of my life. Of course, screenshot attached. The other day, there was a reading title done by Astrea 5D. And probably this was like 5 days ago. It was titled, "In a Tower, Everyone's Gonna Find Out What They Did to You. Tables are turning. Totally misjudged you." And she made her cover. She titled it, "Cannot Block the Sun." So the specific message was powerful and I believe holds a lot of truth about the situation. And this is one of their truths. It showed that while one person is in a tower moment facing collapse and exposure, another stands in the Ten of Cups and Ten of Pentacles energy, representing unconditional love, harmony, and stability. It was said that someone was thrown to the wolves. Yet, instead of being destroyed, they transmuted the harsh energy and turned it into growth. Now, there is embarrassment and shame on the part of those who align themselves with this gold digger. Status obsessed in trying to win at all costs, but is ultimately losing. So her story revolves around one person who is winning by wearing a mask, and another person who is the truth, asserting themselves in the situation, and that this fake person was doing everything to sabotage and block this other person that is trying to cultivate, to which comes naturally from her, which is truth, ideas, uniqueness, and that whatever someone is creating is already embedded in their DNA. But there's a fake person who wants to harness it for themselves, and that their wins came only through wearing a mask. But what comes natural and is being expressed isn't strategy or performance. It is who the person is at her core. Now, the revelations in this reading are that someone tried to throw someone under the bus to level up, and that payments were involved, and that someone defended themselves, persevered, and stayed true to who they are, which put the attackers in a difficult position. Another thread was about a masculine energy around a person with the potential for a harmonious connection. Meanwhile, someone from the past who breadcrumb and spread lies is now ashamed, realizing that they chose wrong and got involved with a group of harassing individuals. So, it was also mentioned that someone was stealing and a group was engaged in harassment and smear campaigns, and that lies and illusion surrounded the situation, but truth continues to shine through. Because the group's motives include jealousy, projection, sabotage, theft, and the desire to silence someone. And that copycat misjudged someone, failed to recognize someone's strength, and is astonished by someone's perseverance. And that this copycat wanted to block someone's voice, sabotage someone's self-actualization, and is planning to interfere with projects and whatever someone is building. The reading also touched on deeper layers that an organization is involved and someone wanted to gain favor, status, fancy lifestyle by betraying someone. And that the copycat wanted to be part of this organization even if it means to throw one person under the bus just for image and influence. And that this person who did all of this doesn't have any empathy, obviously. And that someone gambled and is seeking protection from a group, and that this person wanted some revenge on someone, but they are now taking a loss. The reading even hinted of an affair being hidden and that someone was casting an illusion, pretending that they weren't in an affair with someone. And that the group effort wanted someone to be left out of something, even suggested up money, and keep it for themselves. For someone to be discouraged, unable to defend themselves, aimed to destroy someone's enthusiasm, putting their energy into maintaining mass and illusions. In this reading, they mentioned that a lie will soon be exposed, that someone appeased a group by fabricating stories about someone, creating illusions for protection, and is now hiding and cannot manipulate the story anymore and wants to hide that this person had any dispute with the other person, now that there are some truths coming out. The group is scrambling to hold the narrative. Someone is especially embarrassed knowing that information about their attempts to swap identities is coming out. Now, there is a reading produced this week coming from the same tarot reader following this reading. So, the reading is titled Karma. They shouldn't have tried to diminish you. It is obvious that this person is narrating a same situation from that other reading. But in this reading, she made it clear that the energy of the Ten of Cups was reframed into the energy of a Queen of Cups. And the reader said that this Queen of Cups was under attack by someone who's very reactive. And that the reason for the attack was that the person attacking wanted to diminish someone who embodies layers far beyond physical beauty, style, or charisma. And that she even gave an example that if you're beautiful, they would try to reduce you to be only beautiful, denying your death. So, according to the reader, they wanted to confine this victim to a box, to cling to a false narrative and hold on to something that didn't belong to them, while acting as though the real owner didn't deserve it. And that the attacker showed no empathy to this victim. Now, one crucial detail from this reading is the King of Wands that was said to have evidence against someone. This is important to remember. Connecting both of these readings, both readings mirror each other in content. The story of a heroine and a villain. But in this new one, the reader alternates between describing a Queen of Cups and a Queen of Wands, creating deliberate confusion. This is a mindfuck. Now, the role switching tactic. I do not trust this group of readers because they were covertly attacking me and antagonizing me for years, and are clearly part of my targeting. I will always be reminded that the flying monkeys are the tarot readers, and that there is a screenshot showing that some were even being paid to fabricate specific messages. Now this resonates with my lived experience, yet I remain cautious and do not trust this reader. Why? Because by making this a Queen of Cups reading, they may be trying to cast me out as a villain, flipping the roles again, which is essentially destiny theft, true inversion. Now, let's go back to the King of Wands. If we take the King of Wands with evidence, and then frame the Queen of Cups as the victim, that implies two people working together. But do you recall the earlier pick-a-pile reading saying about a water sign who paid a Sagittarius for a hit? Sagittarius or a Scorpio, it was mentioned, for a hit. You see, we know gang stalkers fabricate evidence. So what does this tell us? That it is highly possibly a manipulated storyline to steal. Now the reader also said, someone realized you will be the one having the money. But remember that someone whistleblowed saying that a coven stole all your money and paid a hitman to silence you. Then another person saying that the coven and evil they talk about is them. Even this narrative covers narratives about some theft, but I believe has the wrong characters in it, which is deliberate. Now, if this reader said that someone realized you will be the one having the money, and we understood that the money was already stolen, it's no-brainer that the person that is living a luxurious lifestyle has it. Considering that the real villain in this group that she won't expose is the coven, are only into statuses, fame, and chasing a fancy lifestyle. Let's talk about vengeance. It was mentioned in this reading that there was someone who wanted vengeance and seek a group's protection. Now, I had this reading and it resonated. And in this reading, it says, watching your behavior because they are obsessed with war with you. They are continuously orchestrating chaos in your life and they are watching how you will react. This person wants vengeance on you. This person enjoys plotting and scheming on people. They live for drama and is very determined to pull you down and is obsessed with humiliating you. And as they humiliate you, this person wants to make it look like you're humiliating yourself. A lot of people doesn't know who they are because they cloak themselves with other people's energy. And this person wants to see you suffer in a lot of pain and even suffer physically. This person thinks that you screwed them over and humiliated them because you know secrets about this person. They go to dark practitioners and do dark magic. They want the public to see you fumble, and this person's goal is to make you look bad. Wants you in poverty and that no one will work with you. This person is vengeful and vindictive, has been doing it since childhood. They seem like they're very helping, trustworthy, acts as self-righteous, but judges you that you don't deserve the family, the job, the life. This resonates with that Scorpio/water sign reading, paying and doing magic. In the previous reading about someone wanting revenge And it was also mentioned with Astrea 5D's readings that someone stole something and acting as if someone didn't deserve it. And no one can deny what truly happened with me with all their humiliation, ritual, abuse. And that this whole situation is just purely chaos. You see, if it's my pick a card readings, it means it is my story. It's surprisingly aligning to their general readings. Yet you will see that it's always about a Queen of Cups as the victim and the Queen of Wands as the villain. If my pick a card readings aligns with this general readings, it is my story, just not the karmic. Now, what aligns in this pick a card is this. I want to show you a screenshot of a tarot reader that years ago saying about there's a huge secret or scandal that is about to be exposed about a person building a life off of your name and inheritance. Revenge plot backfires. Not only that this title mentioned about some revenge plot, but also about an inheritance. And if you ever heard about my eggplants reading that looked like a devil woman with horns and how I got an AI interpretation on it, it mentioned about someone building off of my energy. And that whole interpretation is destiny theft. And as to how I see what really took place in real life is that someone building off of my name by antagonizing me, harvesting my energy and as a sacrifice for their selfish gain. And this was also mentioned in an earlier pick a card reading. So everything's aligned. If we see the bigger picture of this, the abuse by proxy, recruiting people to go up against one person, and in this case, a coven. Playing victim when in reality they're the one doing it and is really convinced that it is you because these individuals are that relentless of their accusations wanting me to be guilty. Also control of narrative so that another person will be looked at as better and you as the villain. And then vengeance, because we all know that narcissists are really vengeful people, even if it's their own wrongdoing. Because from the readings, it was because of this person wanting revenge, coveting something that is not theirs, or even stealing. Plus the covert harassment, the passive-aggressive throwing hands and hide their hands technique, but then will never address it directly towards you. Then as a whole, these individuals are trying to portray themselves to be either religious, holy, or at least upright, righteous people. And some probably even go to the extent of extending help to those who are in need, with the whole agenda of stealing, gaining favor, and a cover-up for a satanic work. It's not just covert narcissism. At this point, I'll go beyond psychology. And in spiritual sense, I believe this is a demonic influence. Not just by one person, but a group of people. I have a lot of people that betrayed me. Some I'm still acquainted with. I just chose to keep quiet for a reason until it is time. I also have a lot of water signs in my family. A mother, aunties, cousin, friends. But I will never forget the one person who told me, ako kasi yung mabait. And in English, I'm the one who's good. And then laugh sarcastically. All of the things that are in here are just facts of what is in those readings. And I'm still investigating because there's a lot of setups when it comes to gang stalking. Because I am very aware that if the smear campaign is that someone is a liar or jealous, they will make it look like that. That's why it's called gang stalking, right? I don't believe anything unless it is in this spiritually guided message or whatever makes sense to me.